You don't stand up against tyranny. You don't stand up against this. You don't stand up against the war on your leading Republican for the nomination of the presidency. You don't stand up and defend your own party, which is being chewed up by all this, and the country that's being brutally divided by all this, then you're crap. We are staring tyranny in the eye. In the eye. They didn't hire 87,000 new IRS agents for the fun of it. They saw that in 2010, when they unleashed the IRS against the Tea Party, it effectively killed the Tea Party movement. Why is that important? Because the Tea Party movement helped send 66 new Republicans to the House of Representatives and about a half a dozen senators. They couldn't put up with that, so they killed it. How did they kill it? With IRS investigations and overwhelming them with red tape. Who was the head of the public integrity section of the criminal division who signed off on that? Does anybody know? Jack Smith, the same guy who's going after Trump. His wife donated money to Tlaib. She's donated money to Obama. She has done a documentary on Obama. So why would Merrick Garland pick somebody like this, who was rejected by the Supreme Court in his seminal case against the Republican governor of Virginia, 8-0, who the trial jury in North Carolina rejected 6 felony counts against John Edwards? Doesn't matter what you think about John Edwards, any more than it matters what you think about Donald Trump. What's going on here is unbelievable. Now, Joe Biden interferes in the elections in Israel. He interferes in the judicial system in Israel. It's appalling. And he's interfering with our system in the United States. They have no qualms about doing this. He insists that Israel keep its hands off its Politburo, aka its Supreme Court, which has seized power from all the other elected branches. Why does he care? That's none of his business. While he's propping up Iran, while he's meeting with Aragon, does he talk to them about their governments? But he trashes our Supreme Court, doesn't he? While he's defending the Israeli Supreme Court. You see what's going on here, America? It's a power grab, pure and simple. And people say 2 tiers of justice. We have no tier of justice. The justice system at the federal level has been destroyed. You blow off the Presidential Records Act and you use the Espionage Act that was passed by a Democrat House and Senate and signed by a Democrat president by the name of Woodrow Wilson, who unconstitutionally imprisoned 2,000 people who disagree with him on World War I, who was the greatest censor in American history before Joe Biden? You're going to use that guy's law that he passed? Well, apparently so. A law they refused to use on Hillary Clinton, that they refused to use on Bill Clinton, that they refused to use on anybody else who served at the highest levels of any government. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, some of you doubted me about him, and we may disagree with him in the future on budgets and so forth, but he's the finest speaker in my lifetime. He and Newt. But this man's courageous. He's taking on the Democrat Party's anti-Semitism. He's challenged Hakeem Jeffries. What are you going to do about the anti-Semites in your caucus? That's what he said yesterday. What are you going to do about them? Silence. And by the way, silence from Joe Biden. Not a word. Nothing about all those extremist MAGA Republicans. What about the anti-Semites in your party, the Jew haters? Not a word. Tlaib, not a word. Remember, he met her after she said what she said? He met her on the tarmac at an airport after she talked about the Jews and all the rest of it and told her she's doing a good job. Remember how he attacked Menachem Begin when he was a senator and Begin wouldn't take any of his crap? Doing the same thing to Netanyahu? Now, some Republicans who have guts have spoken out already about what they're doing to Trump. House Speaker McCarthy. President Trump just increased his lead in the polls. So what does the Biden administration do next? Weaponize government to go after President Biden's #1 opponent. This is not equal justice. It's wrong, and the American public is tired of it. Where's Mitch McConnell? He's in favor of this. Where's any of the Republican leadership in the United States Senate? Silent. Silence is support. You don't stand up against tyranny. You don't stand up against this. You don't stand up against the war on your leading Republican for the nomination of the presidency. You don't stand up and defend your own party, which is being chewed up by all this, and the country that's being brutally divided by all this, then you're crap. You're nothing but crap. House Republican Conference Chair Elise Stefanik. This shameful witch hunt against President Trump by Joe Biden's corrupt Department of Justice is just the latest chapter in the far left's un-American weaponization of the justice system against their leading political opponent. These people have guts because they know if they're targeted by this administration, that they're done too. That they're done too. Stalin would be proud. That's, by the way, the title of my last chapter that goes into this. Stalin would be proud. Representative Matt Gaetz. I've been tough on him, but right now I'm right behind him. I've got his back because this is what separates the men from the boys and the women from the girls. This is what separates those who love freedom from those who don't or pretend they do. He said the House of Representatives needs to take action to defund special counsel investigation immediately. They're attacking our democracy and engaging in election interference right now. I will be introducing legislation to defund the Jack Smith investigation. Good. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene. Jack Smith has weaponized the federal government against President Trump in a complete lie about January 6th to cover up the crimes of Joe and Hunter Biden and their entire criminal family. The Democrats want to arrest every one of their political opponents. It's hard to recognize our country anymore. Wesley Hunt, who's a graduate of West Point, who served in the military, in combat, and is an African-American from Texas, who I've had on my radio shows. Good guy. Never in American history have we seen the weaponization of the Fed like this to interfere in an election. President Trump will be the nominee, he said. Representative Ronnie Jackson. Stand with Trump, stand with Trump. Democrats know they can't beat Trump in 2024, so they've weaponized the FBI yet again to try and take him down. These people will deeply regret this when Trump is back in the White House. Matter of fact, General Kelly, retired, his former chief of staff, Trump's, is out there warning people if Trump gets back, he might reverse these actions and focus on them. Yeah. And I have to say that's the only way to stop this. The only way to stop this is to do to them what they do to us. It's the only way. The only way to stop the bully is to punch the bully in the nose. Or the bully is going to keep at it. It's going to get worse. Matt Rosendale, Montana. How is it that the person who offered to dramatically increase security on January 6, 2021, President Trump, is the person who's going to be charged for those entering the Capitol? Remember? His point is that Trump offered 10,000 National Guardsmen. This is indisputable. Even Milley has it in his notes. Even the Inspector General Department of Defense said so. And there were 4 witnesses to this. He offers them. Pelosi rejects it. The Democrat mayor rejects it. They all reject it. And by the way, where the hell was Mitch McConnell? He is saying this stuff. What about those who refuse the extra security? Nancy Pelosi, Mayor Muriel Bowser. He's right. Representative Andrew Clyde, the DOJ will politically persecute you if your last name is Trump. We will protect you if your last name is Biden. Despicable, corrupt, and unjust. Oh, by the way, I'm about to do something for Mediaite. Wow. Mark's so angry he dropped a piece of paper. What a bunch of putzes. Representative Andy Ogles of Tennessee. This is the 3rd time Joe Biden has indicted his #1 political opponent. If they can do it to Trump, they can do it to you. And they will. Because the federal power, the police powers, are getting bigger and stronger and more numerous and well-funded by the confiscatory taxes that you're paying. You're paying for your own demise.
Want to see more Mark Levin? Go to levintv.com and subscribe now.